Hello guys, welcome back sa third installment itong series na to, Debunking a Band of Biblicist Baptists. So, enjoy!
Siya yung gustong gumawa, no? He has the right to do that. Pero pagdating sa tao, nagbabago yung point of view ng tao, no, sa sovereignty of God. Kasi he has the right to create whatever he wants to create. No? So pero hindi kasi doon natapos yung verse sa Psalms 135. So pag tingnan natin sa verse 8 to 10, he struck the firstborn of Egypt, both human, firstborn, and animal. He sent signs and wonders into your midst, Egypt. Upon Pharaoh and all his servants, he struck many nations and brought death to mighty kings. So, ito, paano to? How about these verses? Does any one of you dare ask God why he did it? Does he have the right to do that or not? Then, it makes me wonder how is it difficult for you to accept that God, by his sovereignty, chooses his people before the foundation of the world? Why is that difficult to understand?
Yeah, Pastor Joel, ano po yung masasabi mo doon sa na-play natin?
Ayun, napansin ko yung sabi nga, God has the right to play, God has the right to do whatever He wants to do because God is sovereign and He can choose people to go to heaven and He can choose people to go to hell. Ngayon, ano ang sagot doon sa mga sinabi niyang yun? Ang sagot doon ay oo. Kaya ng Diyos yung mga bagay na yon.
Oh, so are we good then? Kasi sinabi nyo rin po na hindi rin unfair na mamili siya kung sino yung isa-save niya sa last video nyo. So I'm confused.
Pero ang tatandaan natin, ang Diyos ay hindi gagawin basta ang anumang bagay na hindi umaayon sa kanyang karakter at sa kanyang attribute.
Let me add something, Pastor. Hindi rin siya gagawa ng hindi ayon sa purpose niya. So,
Okay, halimbawa, sabi niya, kaya ng Diyos gawin at may karapatan siyang gawin lahat ng gusto niya. Pero ito, ang Diyos hindi magsisinungaling. Kasi against yun sa kanyang karakter. Against yun sa kanyang attribute. So in that way, masasabi natin na ang Diyos ay hindi makapagsisinungaling dahil kontra yon sa kanyang karakter. So ngayon, ibalik natin dito.
hang on. I'm really confused. Siguro si Brother Jong na lang muna bibigyan ko ng first comment dito. So, Brother Jong, first comment.
Pero every sentence seems to go to the more philosophical side rather than what the Bible is saying. So if we're not careful, unti-unti ka nilang dinadrag towards their philosophical arguments. Hindi mo napansin, alayo na natin doon sa verse. Ba't hindi tayo nag-stick doon? Katulad nga nung
Meron siyang drive na bakit walang tanong daw doon sa nagawa niya sa Psalm 135.
So, just on record, yung ginawa ni Pastor Joel is not biblical. It's actually philosophical or even logical. So, I'm really confused na bakit yung camp nyo is logic and philosophy haters. And yet, parang is it a double standard thing na if you guys use it, it's okay. But if we use it, it's not okay. Kasi yung yung ginawa niya, it's not actually biblical. He's trying to argue from reason alone. Dahil yun nga yung characters ni God, therefore, it must be this case. Yun ay logical argument. I'd suggest na you guys, yung camp ni Pastor Joel na mag-decide, kasi lalo na yung camp ni Pastor Ray, kasi yung mga members or yung mga commenters doon, I'm not really sure kung members niya yun. They are logic, philosophy, and reason haters. And narinig ko na rin si Bro Jong na is trying to demonize philosophy. Which is weird kasi this is philosophical argument. This is a logical one. Nag-start ka sa attributes ng Diyos, kaya mo inassume or it must be the case na ganito yung mangyayari. But the problem is, that's not my question.
So pag tingnan natin sa verse 8 to 10, He struck the firstborn of Egypt, both human, firstborn, and animal. He sent signs and wonders into your midst, Egypt, upon Pharaoh and all his servants. He struck many nations and brought death to mighty kings. So, ito, ano to? How about these verses? Does any one of you dare ask God why he did it?
So I'm really confused na parang why are you trying to avoid that question?
Ine-emphasize nila na ang Diyos ay sovereign, which we believe. Walang sino man sa atin ang nagsasabi na ang Diyos ay hindi sovereign.
Well, that's true, Pastor. That's true. Hindi inaamin niyo naman na sovereign ng Diyos. Pero ang problema dito is you can say it with your mouth na He's sovereign. Pag tinanong kayo ng question, up to what extent He is sovereign, that's the problem. I think that's also the problem with your view of God's justice and God's love. Na up to what extent you are willing to say that? Hanggang saan? We're not talking about just uttering words. We're not talking about just saying things.
Walang sino man nagsasabi na ang Diyos ay hindi almighty. Walang sino man nagsasabi na hindi karapatan ng Diyos na gawin ang anumang bagay na gusto niyang gawin sa kanyang nilalang.
Oh, so are we good then?
Kaya lang, yung karakter ng Diyos ay tinatawag natin na self-limiting. Nililimitahan ng Diyos ang kanyang sarili ayon sa kanyang attributes.
I agree with all those things pero may kasama according sa purpose niya. So yun lang naman yung siguro difference natin, no. You exclude the purpose pero lagi niyo in-include yung attributes, which is good. That's good.
Ayon sa kanyang karakter. Anong karakter ng Diyos? God is holy. And because God is holy, God will never commit sin. Therefore, He cannot commit sin because God is holy. So limited siya.
It's kind of weird sabihin ng anak mo and ng camp na Pastor Ray na they're trying to demonize philosophy, reason, and logic, and at the same time you're using it. So ano to, parang if it's convenient on your side, you will use it, pero pag hindi convenient, you will say na it's bad or you're trying to demonize it. So you have to decide which is which. Kasi you cannot explain it this way kung gusto mong i-establish yung point mo.
And because God is holy, God will never commit sin. Therefore, He cannot commit sin because God is holy. So limited siya.
God cannot commit sin because He's the standard, He's the mark. That's why He cannot sin. Sin means missing the mark. And God is the mark. Yun yung point. Why would He lie? We lie because first of all, we don't know the future. We don't know everything. We have no control of everything. So if He has control of everything, He doesn't have to lie. He's gonna tell you the truth.
Yung karakter ng Diyos ay tinatawag natin na self-limiting. Nililimitahan ng Diyos ang kanyang sarili ayon sa kanyang attributes.
Again, feeling ko, Pastor, no, kulang sa equation, no, kasi I would say, Pastor, na He is limiting His attributes for His purpose. The point of the creation is His purpose. How can I say that? Bakit in-empty ni Christ yung sarili niya ulit? I think you'll get the clue there. Why did Christ empty Himself? I would say, God is not limiting Himself according to His attributes. God is limiting Himself according to His purpose. Like for example, extending mercy to wicked men. Yung katulad ng inargue ni Apostle Paul sa Romans 9 na nag-endure si God ng great patience do sa mga object niya ng destruction, ng wrath na prepared beforehand. So, nililimit niya yung attributes niya according to His purpose. I would say na yun yung reason at yun yung kulang sa inyo. I can affirm all of that na it's not actually proving your point kasi we can actually agree on that one.
Daling natin dito sa pinag-uusapan natin ngayon. Karapatan ng Diyos na piliin ang gusto niyang piliin, na dalhin sa langit. Karapatan ng Diyos at kaya niyang piliin kung sino gusto niyang piliin na mapunta sa impyerno. Oo, pero nililimit siya ng karakter niya. Bakit? Nililimit siya ng attribute niya. Bakit? Yung kanyang pagiging pag-ibig ay hindi papayagan nung kanyang attribute na yon na ang tao basta na lamang mapahamak.
Again, we have a problem with definition of love here. It is as if you're trying to apply the human definition of love to God, because the way I understand God's love is unconditional. Would you agree? If it's unconditional, then regardless of what you do, He will forgive you. What do you mean by love here? Are you talking about the 1 Corinthians 13:4-8? Yun yung ba ibig sabihin mong love dito? Or human love? Kasi I think you are trying to view the love of God based on your view of what love is. So, kung ang gagamitin natin na definition is 1 Corinthians 13:4-8, then hindi magsisis yung love ni God sa mga tao. If we can apply it to all, sa lahat ng tao. So, the fact na sinasabi mong, okay, pinako sa krus si Christ para doon sa mga tatanggap sa Kanya, then you just failed to use God's love as a reason dahil God's love failed. I hope you realize that, Pastor. Kasi God's love is unconditional. If it's unconditional, then how is it possible na people are going to hell?
Yung word lang na unconditional, hindi na justice agad yun eh.
Paano yung angels? Parang sila Satan, yung fallen angels. Hindi sila sinenda ng Savior. Paano yan? So, nag-fail yung love ni God doon? Yun ba yung point nyo? See, this is the problem kaya hindi coherent yung view nyo eh. Dahil for you, gusto nyo baliktaran yung all-loving, gusto nyo gawing na loving all, which will open a can of worms like kila Satan, the fallen angels, hindi ba siya in-apply doon? Bakit walang way to actually be saved sa mga angels? This is one of the problems, Pastor. I'm not really sure if you're confused about the definition of love and justice. So, doon tayo mag-focus kasi yun yung point of contention dito eh. Na you have a distorted or a human idea of what God's love is. So, how are you going to apply it equally? I'm really confused na parang how? Sinabi mo na ang naging solution is pagka nagkaroon ka ng faith sa akin, mamahalin kita unconditionally. That's a contradiction in terms, Pastor. Kung i-insist mo na minahal niya lahat ng tao, then it cannot fail. Kung si God yung gumagawa nun, it cannot fail kung sa lahat ng tao. Kasi His attributes is all loving, not loving all. So, hindi ko alam kung ano yung ibig niyo sabihin doon. You have a different view of God's love. I'm taking the 1 Corinthians 13 na definition. Yun yung tinitake ko to apply ano yung sinasabi mong love. Kasi it always perseveres. Okay? It doesn't keep record of wrongs. So, I'm really shocked na you use it that way.
Yung kanyang pagiging merciful ay hindi papayagan na ang tao ay basta na lamang mapunta sa impyerno.
Let's not talk about mercy, no? Kasi I think you have a different idea of mercy rin. Because isa sa mga videos nyo, sinabi nyo na God is just and merciful. Okay, na tinawag nyo yung mercy na grace. Okay? So okay, ang sinabi ni Bro Jong na
We will say na there's injustice in God sa kanilang explanation. Bakit? Yung 5, grace nga. Pero ano ito? Injustice yung grace na yon.
kapag may, okay, justice, lahat ng tao mapupunta sa hell. That's justice. That's true justice. Pero pag may pinili siyang iligtas by grace, that's unfair kasi magkakaroon ng injustice sa loob ng grace. I mean, do you even realize what you're saying? Hindi ba, justice by definition is getting what you deserve. And grace, by definition, is getting what you don't deserve. So saying na may injustice sa grace is just a contradiction. I hope you realize that. I mean, maybe that's why you are logic, reason, or philosophy haters.
Pero yung kanyang pagiging just ay hindi papayagan na iligtas niya yung mga tao na gumawa ng kasalanan sapagkat pag ginawa niya yun, hindi siya just. Dahil ang kasalanan kailangan na pagbayaran.
So, what is justice? Kasi sabi mo, you want to apply justice, and pure love. Ito yung point ko na you have no choice but to arrive do sa conclusion na walang mapupunta ng hell kasi if you apply both of those attributes equally, then wala kang choice kundi i-absorb lahat ni Christ lahat ng punishment and then to satisfy both. Kasi marinig nyo rin naman sa sa debate namin. Would you agree with Pastor Ray na ang kabayaran ng mga kasalanan na save yung mga tao sa Old Testament dahil naniwala sila sa Diyos? Tinanong ko, para tayo na save, naniwala tayo kay Kristo, at tinanong ko, ano yung kabayaran ng kasalanan nila? Well, sa atin, si Kristo, sa kanila, animal sacrifice. Okay, but here's the problem. That's not justice kasi my question was, ano yung kabayaran ng mga kasalanan ng mga tao? Kasi they sinned against an eternal being. Don't tell me na ang kabayaran ng kasalanan sa eternal being is kambing. True justice ang hinihingi ko kambing ang ibinigay sa akin. So, agree ka ba doon, Pastor? Kasi that's how Pastor Ray viewed justice. Would you agree with that? I would like to know your view about justice and about love. Why don't you tell people yung differences niyo ni Pastor Ray? I mean, sa palagay niyo ba, walang karapatan yung mga tao na malaman kung ano yung differences niyo? Kaya, ang motto is, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Hindi siya righteous sapagkat nagkonsinti siya. So, sineself-limit nito ng mga attributes ng Diyos ang sarili niya. So ngayon, paano isosolve ng Diyos itong dilema na ito? Sa Diyos walang dilema eh. Actually sa atin, nakikita natin sa dilema, God is wise. So, yung kanyang pagiging wise ay gumawa ng paraan para masatisfy yung kanyang love and mercy, at the same time masatisfy yung kanyang justice and righteousness sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng kanyang bugtong na anak. Sa pagbibigay ng anak niya, pinakita niya yung kanyang love and mercy. Nung mamatay si Kristo sa krus ng Kalbaryo, pinakita niya rin ang kanyang righteousness and justice, sapagkat doon ay merong kabayaran na ginawa ang ating Panginoon, at yung kabayaran na yon ay pagpapakita ng kanyang pag-ibig sa tao. So ngayon,
yeah, that's our point. We can actually use that too na kaya na-justified yung mga elect at yung his people dahil nagbayad siya dun sa krus ng Kalbaryo. Actually, to be honest, Pastor, your whole presentation doesn't answer anything. Because I can agree with all of it, but that still proves our point. Except dun sa you're trying to play with words, na definition ng love, ng justice. Pastor, puro ano to no? Puro philosophical yung ginawa mo, no? Okay, that's good. I'm fine with that. Kasi hindi naman ako philosophy hater, tsaka logic hater, tsaka reason hater. Okay lang sa akin to. Pero may nakalimutan yata kayong gawin. I-critique yung argument ko.
so kaya wag dapat ibigay na katwiran ng mga kaibigan nating mga Calvinist na, ay, sovereign ng Diyos, gagawin niya ang gusto niyang gawin. Gagawin niya na lang basta yung gusto niyang gawin? Hindi niya isasaalang-alang yung karakter niya? Hindi niya isasaalang-alang yung nature niya?
I can affirm all of that na God is wise, binigay niya yung bugtong na anak niya to satisfy the justice, mercy, But there's one missing Pastor. I think this is the big difference. Kasi you are trying to make the argument from reason alone starting sa creation. And I'm not doing that. I would suggest to you na go further back before the creation. So ngayon, what is the purpose of the whole creation? Dito masagot ngayon yung point namin. Before the creation of the world, what is the reason of God for creating everything? He doesn't have to create anything. Okay na sila ng triune God. So what's the point? So ngayon, bibigyan kita ng pastor ng logical problem. Kung ano man yung purpose ni God for creating, meron siyang tatlong options to actually create the whole creation. Tama? First option is God creates us and save us all. So ilang attributes yung marireveal doon. Okay? Second option, God creates us and doesn't save us at all. Ilang attributes yung lalabas doon. Or third option, God creates us and saves some. Ilang attributes yung lalabas doon. And saan doon kailangan si Jesus Christ. So ngayon, yung reason mo, yung objection nyo about our reasoning na His sovereignty, He does what He pleases, and ang pagpili niya sa mga elect or sa mga taong i-save niya is according to His own purpose. Yun yung reason ng pag-create ng lahat at hindi niyo matanggap yon.
Kaya nga nung nagbigay siya ng free will, hindi niya binawi. Ewan ko bakit pinipilit ng mga Calvinist na wala ng free will. Ang free will natin, kita mo, walang free will ng tao. Ang free will ng tao gumawa lang ng kasalanan. Parang kinukontra niya sa sarili nila. Walang free will ng tao. Ang free will lang ng tao gumawa ng kasalanan. Paano naging free will yun?
Ay, hindi po, Pastor. Hindi po namin kinukontra sarili namin. Iba lang kayo ng definition of free will. Kasi ang tawag namin sa free will is man's will, creaturely will. Ang tawag niyo sa free will is autonomous will. Hindi namin kinukontra, Pastor, kasi a man's will is enslaved to its nature, the sin. Alam ko, ginawa ko na Bro Jong yung tungkol sa free will. So, siguro panoorin nyo na lang yung Pastor kasi nakakatamad pa ulit-ulit.
Hindi, nakakagulo sila sa double predestination. Sabi ng ibang Calvinist, hindi kami naniniwala sa double predestination. Sabi ng ibang Calvinist, naniniwala kami sa double predestination.
Yung problema sa double predestination na merong ibang nagdidina, yung iba hindi. Maybe that's possible, pero I thought I was the one you're criticizing there. Kasi, were you shocked when I didn't deny it? But there's a problem. May strawman ka sinabi, Pastor. Sinabi mo kasi na God chooses those people na pupunta ng heaven and God chooses those people na pupunta ng hell. No, not necessarily. God chooses those people na pupunta ng heaven and God leaves those people sa sins nila. There's a big difference. Kaya siguro naguguluhan kayo na you keep strawmanning us or you're just closing your mind na hindi nyo makita yung distinction. I mean, yun yung double predestination na tinatawag namin. Kasi, this is my point, Pastor, na I come to the conclusion na your purpose for banding together is to destroy. Why? Just look at your review. Keep criticizing other people. Why? Akala ko ako yung nare-review dito sa video na to. Bakit you keep smuggling the arguments of other people? I never argued. Kita yung intention ng heart, Pastor. You're here to destroy. You're not here to know our position. You're here to destroy.
Pero ito masasabi ko, ano man ang paniwalaan nila? Double predestination? Hindi. Parehong mali. Why? Because Calvinism is a man-made philosophy.
Ayan naman tayo sa demonizing na philosophy, no? Pero, okay, man-made philosophy. Well, yung five solas ba, Pastor, man-made philosophy ba yan? Why do you believe in it?
It is not biblical. Yes, aaminin ko, ang Calvinism is logical.
I agree. Logical. Okay, thank you. Kasi for us, God is logical. Pero sa inyo, hindi. So, is God logical?
Dahil doon sa ginawa din ng sistema. But it is not biblical.
You believe five solas, di ba? Actually, wala sa Bible yun, di ba? Wala yung five solas na yun. So, sabihin ko ganito, the five solas is a man-made philosophy. So, it's wrong. It's the same way ng five solas kung paano nag-function. I don't know. Kasi, di ba galing sa Bible yun? Bakit hindi kayo maging fair at i-treat yung tulip na ganoon din yung pinanggalingan nun? So, kung mapapansin natin, walang nasagot sa tanong ko. I hope na may masagot kasi this is not the issue. Parang you're explaining it away. And on record, that's not biblical. Kung ano yung mga sinabi niya, Pastor. That's philosophical. It's not even logical.